We are going to be doing another Whatnot polo show, and I did a video, the last video we did about Whatnot just kind of covers how we set up for our polo show. So I wanted to show you a little bit more in detail of some of the things that we do to help us stay organized. And then also after the show, I want to show you guys how it looks on the back end for when you go to ship items, because we had a lot of questions about that. So I'm going to show you our setup and then we're going to do our show. We've got my computer. You can see this is our Cinco de Mayo polo show. I'm going to open that after Casey opens it on his phone. Look at all the golf clubs we have. So Casey's going to have it on his phone. We're going to turn on the ring light and he's going to start the show on his phone just by hitting start show. And then we have all of the polos organized with these little dividers. I also got those on Amazon and they're all by size. We are ready to rock. Here are pieces of the tape that I use. You can buy it on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. But this is what I do. And when we sell a polo, I'll write the number. So if it's golf polo number 3, I'll write number 3. And then also I'll write the name of whoever purchased it. So that way I stay a little bit more organized. And it'll make sense when I show you what it looks like on the order page after we're done with the show. Go to account. Go to shows. Hit that, and then 28 seconds, and then we're just going to hit start show. Once Casey hits start show, I do open show on the computer. The first one that you start or open the show with is the one that the camera uses.
I'm live, and then I got to flip the camera.
Yep, flip the camera.
It's on us.
All right.
All right. I'm going to wait a few minutes to have some people get in here. Looks like we have a couple people joining us. How's everybody's Cinco de Mayo going? Case 54. We got the 54 logo on the back there, like that rubber type logo. All right. Somebody said medium. How about this one? We got a medium Travis Matthew. Got the stripe design. Got some, looks like some pink and grays in there. It does have an Arizona golf course embroidered on it. In Quintera on the left sleeve. Otherwise has the Travis Matthew on the back.
We're going to go ahead and run it.
And we'll start this one at $7 with it being Travis Matthew. Again, there's the design on there with the embroidered TM. And the Travis Matthew on the back. Size medium. Does have an Arizona golf course logo on the sleeve. And Quintera, of course. All right, Dan. Congrats. Have a good Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Ending show. Create a raid.
Do flip the world.
Flip the world, Texas. Go have some fun with him.
He's crazy.
Size small. Freeway flippers with a raid. What's going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so you can see this is what I do to know who has what polo. And I try to keep them all together. So like right here, you can see the number, and then Dan bought all of these shirts. So I'll know exactly which number. And it'll make sense once I go to the computer. Here's some from Scrappy. There's another one from Scrappy, but it just helps keep it a little organized for me when I go to ship the orders. We have all of these shirts that we sold. We sold 36 polo shirts. We start with 2 racks. I move everything that didn't sell to 1 rack and then everything that did sell to this rack. And I organize them by buyers and then also in order by number. So let's go to the computer and start fulfilling these orders. So I opened up our account on my laptop. I'm going to go in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to click on shipments. And right here you can see we have 18 live orders to ship. We had sold 36 polos, and then it'll show your sales and then your estimated earnings after the fees. And if you go down, a lot of you had questions on like, how do you know which way to ship the order. Like, do you ship priority? Do you ship ground? This person bought 2 items. The weight was 14 ounces, which means it was under a pound, and it's going to ship Ground Advantage through the post office. Let's show you someone who bought many more than that. So I've got these 2 orders. This person ordered 4. This person ordered 6, and you can see the ounces are over a pound. So because when we were setting up the show, anything over a pound is going to be priority. If they would have done over 5 pounds, then it would have shipped in flat rate. So because it's just showing post office priority, I can use any of the priority boxes. I cannot use flat rate boxes unless this were to say priority flat rate. So I'm going to click on this one, and if we do the drop down, you'll be able to see they purchased golf polo shirt number 35 and golf polo shirt number 36. And you can see how much each sold for, and then the shipping that the buyer was charged. So I'm going to, over here, go down, and I'm going to generate the label expected to ship via post office Ground Advantage. So I'm going to hit generate label, and it's going to have a packing slip, which you definitely want to include, and then there's going to be a shipping label. After I print the shipping label and packing slip, so I'm going to mark the package as shipped, and then what it does is it removes it from the shipments page. That way I'm left with all the other orders that I need to fulfill. All right, so I showed you how to print the packing slip and the shipping label. This person purchased golf polo shirt number 35 and 36. So I'm going to find their order. So it was these 2 shirts. Because they're going Ground Advantage, I'm going to put them in one of our poly mailers, and I'll show you what we use. So just like when we sell on like eBay or Poshmark, we use these poly mailers because these 2 can fit in there and they'll be under a pound. So that's what we use. And then I'll show you guys a couple of the different priority boxes that we use when we have to ship priority. But if you're doing Ground Advantage and it prints out, the label prints out Ground Advantage, you cannot use any priority boxes to ship. All right, so if you choose after 5 pounds, a buyer buys more than 5 pounds of stuff, you can do flat rate, but they would have to fit in one of these flat rate boxes. Here is a flat rate envelope, which obviously after 5 pounds probably wouldn't make much sense. There are 2 different size medium flat rates. There's this one, and then there's this one. But also what we use if somebody buys a bunch of polos is the large flat rate box. If somebody buys enough to where you get a priority mailing label, there is this tiny little box that you could put stuff in and use. It's just a regular, like a small mailing box. There is this one that is also known as the shoe box. And then there are 2 different mailing boxes. There's this one that's similar to the medium flat rate. You can fit quite a bit in there. And then there's also a large mailing box. Hopefully that video was helpful for you guys. If you are curious more about like setting up shipping and the difference between Ground Advantage, priority flat rate, we did do another video on Whatnot, like pretty much how to run a show for beginners, and we kind of show how we set up our shipping. When I mentioned before about if it showed the flat rate over 5 pounds, you actually, when you're setting up your show, can choose if you want to do just regular flat rate or Ground Advantage after 5 pounds. So definitely watch the video that we had put out already. That's going to give you a little bit more insight on how to do your shows. If you have any other questions about selling on Whatnot, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. And until the next video, I'll catch you on the flip.